It's time for my spoiler-free thoughts on Fantastic Four. Now, you know that I am a huge Fantastic Four fan. I have been reading the comic pretty much my entire life. Since I was like 5, 6 years old, it's been hard to not read Fantastic Four. I love these characters. I love this world. What do I think about the movie? Well, let's get right into it. Spoiler-free, Fantastic Four. So you know that I've been critical of the MCU of late, basically since Endgame. They've had a few movies I've liked. I enjoyed Thunderbolts. I enjoyed Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 3. But then you got things like Black Widow, you got Eternals, you got Shang-Chi, Black Panther 2, a lot of movies that just didn't really resonate or work for me, including the new Captain America, Brave New World or whatever. Basically Hulk 2, Red Hulk Boogaloo. It was alright, it's fine, but it's time for Fantastic Four. What did I think about it? I fucking loved it. I loved this movie. I thought it was by far the best Fantastic Four movie we've ever gotten. And Roger Corman, Tony Story, what was that dude's name? Like something Frank or what? I don't even remember. The guy who did what was that movie he did with Anthony Mackie? Not Anthony Mackie, Michael B. Jordan. Chronicle, Josh Trank. Even the Josh Trank one. I don't like any of these movies. But I really enjoyed this new Fantastic Four movie. I thought it was super solid, and for the first time, I feel like they've actually captured the sense of wonder that I find inherent in Fantastic Four. The sense of exploration, the sense of family. I freaking loved it. I love that the movie is set in a retro future version of the 60s. Because even though you got the retro future production design, which is amazing, you also got a very authentic, yet at the same time old school and mythologized New York that works so well for me. The costumes, they work fine. The characters themselves work fine. I love the Fantastic Car. I love the idea that New York feels so key to this movie. And as well as all this technology, but at the same time, it still feels slightly grounded. Mostly because of these amazing performances, right? So we got Pedro Pascal as Reed Richards. I was kind of nervous about this movie because of this casting. I didn't think that Pedro was going to be the best actor for this movie. However, it totally works. He, to me, was so authentic as Reed. He is able to play the absent-minded professor thing, but you feel the love he has for Sue and Ben and Johnny and the responsibility that he feels. This was totally Reed Richards portrayed on screen very accurately. Then we got Vanessa Kirby as Susan Storm. She, to me, was the performance of the movie. She was my favorite character. She was absolutely amazing. Now, I've seen a little bit of her work here and there, but I've never really seen her get the spotlight like she had in this movie. And Sue Storm and Vanessa Kirby's interpretation of Sue Storm is by far the heart and near core of this movie. Her power set was absolutely amazing, perfectly utilized, and the character felt so just amazing and right and perfect. Then we got the Thing. Benjamin J. Grimm, the ever-loving blue-eyed Thing, who is voiced and played by, what's his name? Ibn Mas Bachrach. A lot of people know him from The Bear. I've never seen The Bear, so I've never seen anything with him. But his voice, when I first heard his voice in the trailer, I was bothered that it wasn't some kind of gravelly, right, what a revolting development, that it wasn't one of those kind of voices. But it was also a very genuine, authentic performance that I thought 100% worked, and he was a highlight of the movie as well. Joseph Quinn, who we know as our favorite D&D metalhead from the last season of Stranger Things, played Johnny Storm the Human Torch. Johnny Storm is a character that in a lot of movies, a lot of people know that he's a jokey kind of guy, he doesn't take things too seriously, and they play it up. Like, one of the best parts of those Fox Fantastic Four movies was Chris Evans as Johnny Storm. Joseph Quinn does a bit of a different type take on Johnny, but at the same time, very much true to the core of the character. Because even though Johnny can be a little bit of, I don't know the word, but even though Johnny can be a little bit of a pain in the ass sometimes, he still has a core of responsibility and love for his family, and that totally comes through in this movie. I love that they didn't play him up as just a jokey jackass, always getting in fights with Ben. There is elements of that there, but it wasn't the main focus, and it actually made the character more strong, more well-rounded to me. Silver Surfer. A lot of talk about the Silver Surfer, who's played by Julia Garner. A lot of people upset that the Silver Surfer is a woman and not a man. It has no relation to my enjoyment of this movie whatsoever. Of course, we already know this, but it's Shia LaBeouf. This is set in a different universe than your typical MCU movie. It's set in Earth 828, which just so happens to be Jack Kirby's birthday, August 28th. I thought that was cool. As I say that, it is 8:28 p.m. my time right now as I'm recording and saying this and streaming this to you. So that's synchronicity right there. That being said, Silver Surfer was great. There's a little bit of a different story going on here with Silver Surfer and how she is integrated into the coming of Galactus. It's very much what is on the comic book page, but at the same time, a little bit different. But I like the differences. I like her. The effects looked amazing. It was really solid. Her voice, she felt threatening. It was awesome. I really liked her in the movie. Maybe, just maybe, wanted a little bit more. Then we've got Galactus. Galactus is played by Ralph Ineson, who we will know from a lot of Robert Eggers movies. He was the dad in The Witch, which is an amazing movie. He's got this big, booming voice that is totally appropriate for Galactus. And Galactus is not a dust of nanotechnology or a dust cloud coming through to consume planets. He is literally a giant fucking Galactus who is walking around fighting the Fantastic Four, doing all kinds of things. He truly feels like an epic threat, like a god. Hell, even Herbie was awesome in this movie, and Herbie, as we talked about earlier, was a character created for a Fantastic Four cartoon that was then put into the comic books, usually as just a little joke here and there. But y'all, Herbie kind of works in this movie. All in all, I thought Fantastic Four was frickin' fantastic. No pun intended. Or was it? I loved it. I am a huge Fantastic Four fan, and they have never made a Fantastic Four movie that I've enjoyed. Seriously, the story films, the Trank film, there are elements of them that I like. There are things that I find to like because I have to find things to like. You know, I used to do this thing where people would bitch and moan about some comic book movie. I'd be like, could be worse, Spider-Man fan. At least you've had some good Spider-Man movies. I've never had a good Fantastic Four movie. We now have a great Fantastic Four movie. The characters were spot on. The setting, the setting, and the fact that it's like 60s New York. It's got that retro feel. Matt Shankman, I believe, is the name of the director, who also did WandaVision. Had kind of a little bit of a same kind of flair, similarity there, but this one really leaned into it super heavily. There are a lot of Jack Kirby references in this one. And I'm not just talking about the visuals, I'm talking about the actual characters, the way they work. This is the most Jack Kirby influenced Marvel movie we have ever gotten. And there's a nice little tribute to Jack Kirby in the movie, a few of them in the movie, and then at the end, before you get the very last post-credits thing, there's a quote from Jack Kirby. I thought that was freaking awesome. So yeah, I thought it was great. The Thing really felt like Jack Kirby. There is a slight love interest for Thing in this movie, and she is based on Jack Kirby's wife, Roz. So that's freaking awesome. I loved it. I thought the effects looked great. Some moments where you're like, oh, that's CG, but like nothing that pulled me out of the movie. I honestly think Superman had a little bit more of a reliance on CG. This one felt more practical. Even though there's a lot of CG in it, it didn't bother me. The Thing looked great. I liked it. Johnny looks great when he's flaming on, and when Reed stretches, it still doesn't look 100% awesome, right? But that's a hard gimmick to get across on screen, I think. But it looks better than it's ever looked before. And the way they show Sue's powers, absolutely phenomenal. I loved every moment of it. There were moments where I was just cheesing so hardcore in this theater, I could not contain myself. I felt like a kid. I felt like an 8-year-old Robbie sitting alone, staying up all night to read my short box of Fantastic Four comics over and over and over again. I frickin' loved it. It was such a heartfelt, true to the source, true to the vision of Jack and Stan, and true to the core of those characters. Reed was amazing. Sue was amazing. Johnny and Ben were amazing. I would have liked a little bit more Ben and Johnny. And also there's some other little villains and references to villains thrown in there. Unfortunately, John Malkovich did get cut out. He was supposed to play the Red Ghost, but you can tell the scene that he was supposed to be in. You get to see the Mole Man. I like how it starts. Just like Superman starts in year 3, this starts in year 4. Appropriately so. There is a post-credits thing, and there's a mid-credits tease. The mid-credits thing is a big deal. A lot of people are really going to like that. The post-credits thing has no bearing on anything to come in the Marvel Universe or anything related to that movie, except for it's just a nice little kind of fun bit. And so if you're a hardcore fan, definitely stick around for that. All in all, I loved it. Also, the music. Michael Giacchino does the music, and it is by far, in my opinion, the best score of the year so far, and the best Marvel Cinematic Universe score I have ever listened to. It is iconic, it is instantaneously recognizable, and it's just like John Williams' Superman score, where it goes, Superman! And it actually almost says it in the music. They do that here with Fantastic Four! A sense of wonder, a sense of amazement, a sense of exploration, and true to the core interpretations of these characters and the world that they inhabit. Great special effects, really solid look, great production design, a stellar score. A stellar score. All in all, I would give this film 5 out of 5. Ya digs? Perfect score for me. Granted, I am a huge Fantastic Four nut, so for me, it was just absolutely perfect. I loved it. It's definitely, right now, probably my favorite movie of the year. So, there you go. From a lifelong Fantastic Four fan, I loved it. I love it. I want more, and I'm ready to go watch it again. So, there you go. Excelsior, Ultimate Nullifiers and all. I give it 5 ya digs. Galactus was great. Surfer was cool. I enjoyed every single moment of it. So yeah, 5 ya digs, a perfect score for Fantastic Four.